Good morning. I have a video for you, a journal from the 19th of March 2010, the first journal of that day, 9:12 a.m. The Mayan day was 10 Road, and it's called Practice Knowing What You Know. Practice knowing what you know. This is an interesting enterprise, and it can lead both from and to a wider opening and understanding of the self, capital S. Remember now, words are just words. Drop down into heart to understand. Forget, or at least let go of, the mind. Practice knowing what you know. First, let's define the you in that. Good place to start. Actually, though, that is not possible. It is not possible to define your being. It is too vast, wildly beyond 3D comprehension. So, do we just quit? Hell no! Where's your grit? Rather, a more sensible progression is to define some of what you are not. Neti, neti, it is said. So, if you've been long among these journals, you well know that the body is nobody's you. Oh yes, many still think they are that, true, but that makes life excessively difficult. No need for unnecessary suffering, after all. So, the body is no you. Now, the mind is perhaps closer to what people think they are, but not that either. It's no you, though it would surely like to be. That's a choice, though, to identify with that or to step back and observe. Now, if you can step back and observe, then you're well on your way to seeing that the mind is not anyone's you either. It's rather more of their false creation. It's surely a false identification for our you. So we continue. Not that. I don't want to get too way out here, but oh well. We are more likely that than those others, than body and mind. Still, let's not go too far afield. It's not necessary just now to this exercise. Most people are quite lost when taken from body and mind as points of identification. So, let's have mercy and do a shift and just play with the imagination. But let's do it from heart, of course. So, I am here to tell you, I am here to tell you from quite personal experience that you are, at a minimum, all of cosmos. Yes, we are still on the one word, the you. The rest will be easier after that. But clearly, the rest all hangs on this. So be patient and let's go for a trip. Back to heart now. We've all heard it said, perhaps ad nauseum, that all is one. We've also heard of quantum entanglement, or at least most have. Google it if you have not. I don't want to bore the others. So, from both spiritual and quantum scientific perspectives, or viewed from those paradigms, everything that is, bar none, is quite thoroughly connected. One could even say it is all one. Now, here's where imagination comes in. For if you don't know this oneness yourself experientially, then just imagine it so. That's all. That won't hurt. Just imagine that you partake of the whole frickin' thing. That means there's nothing you're not. Got that? Be in heart now. Okay. So, though we haven't been able to quite define our you in that sentence, or anywhere else for that matter, we've got to start. We've defined that which we're not, both body and mind, and expanded out into the rest. Is that a lot to take in? I mean all this quite literally, you know. This is not esoteric blah blah. Anyway, let's pause for a moment and I'll share my understanding of this. The body-mind being is a point of the focus of awareness. It's where we choose to focus an aspect, a small portion of the self, capital S. Thus, though it's not a you, it partakes of the essence of you. It's quite important too, so get out of head with that. Some are considering that I'm just minimizing into complete unimportance the precious and priceless body. Not so. Be in heart. Now for the neat thing. Once you've disconnected from identifying the self with the body-mind, we can much more easily go trippin'. My YouTube channel's motto is getting high on heart, and I mean that literally. I go trippin' on quite a regular basis. So do you. Maybe you just don't know it. Everyone does it in sleep. It's called dreaming. But you can do it awake as well. Maybe better. Just different. Oh dear, I'm going on long here. My idea was so simple, to expound on or explicate a special phrase. Practice knowing what you know. It appears, though, that before that train left, we were lost in the vastness of the one word, the you. There's a fair bit to chew on here, so let's pause. I'll continue in another journal, picking up where we left off. But meanwhile, why not meditate on you and be fearless? That's important. Any fear, even just a mite, and you're thrown out of heart, so be sensitive to that. Just keep dropping back down.